Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're an old-time supporter, or welcome to the channel if you're brand new. Just wanted to take a quick second, since people are usually interested in my epoxy projects. I was going to enter a bowl that I made out of epoxy in the butterfly shape in the fair this year, but unfortunately the planning got mixed up in the fact that I had to use different epoxy than I originally planned, which meant it needed to take longer to cure, which meant I wasn't able to make this bowl. So stay tuned in the future. Hopefully I'll make a video out of how I actually carved this bowl, similar to another bowl that I made last year, which was a heart-shaped bowl that was also in a block of cherry with blue epoxy, but dark blue epoxy. What I thought I'd give you this time is how I took that bowl that was made over a year ago, and I have not given it any love and attention. So basically the epoxy had kind of dulled up, the wood had kind of dulled up, aged over the last year. I had not put any new mineral spirits, mineral oil, or any polish on it, or taken the time to be polishing the bowl. So I decided to enter that in the fair, so I wanted to bring that up to another level of luster to put it into the fair. So this video will be just a real quick video that shows you how I took that bowl from its current state over a year old with no love, and then I went ahead and used my polish on it and some Bumblechutes Beenooba Hardwax and the final results. So that's what this is about, just basically walking you through how I went about rejuvenating that bowl. With that, I hope you enjoy it. Let's go hit it. This is what the bowl looked like before I got started, after sitting in my living room for a year without giving it any much attention other than dusting every once in a while. So I needed to get it all rejuvenated, and the first thing I did was I clamped my polisher down to my workbench. I'm gotta make a holder for this like I do with my Festool, because it worked out so well. And then I started applying the polish. And it was the first step is a rubbing compound, and I need to make sure I don't rub too aggressively. And then after I do that, I have to rub all of that rubbing compound off there, kind of like sanding before you move to the next grit. So after I did that, I put the next pad on there, which is a finer grit of material. I applied the polish. Oops, I put a little too much on there and it splattered all over the place, but that's okay. You can't see that on the video. It's just all over the front of my apron there. I finished that all off and I got that all polished, and again I had to make sure I rubbed all of that rubbing compound out of the grains of the wood that had gotten in there. So I used a little denatured alcohol to help get rid of it, and then I applied the Bumblechutes Beenooba Hardwax, and after it got all applied and it sat for 35 to 45 minutes, I went ahead and wiped it down. I didn't get that on video, but I think it turned out pretty good. What do you think? That's all there is to it. All I needed to do was rejuvenate this thing so it looked better, and I'm pretty happy with the end result because I hadn't really paid any attention to it for a while. So it's the following steps. Number one is I used my 3M PerfectIT polishing system, but I only went through 2 compounds. After I got through the second compound, I thought it was looking good enough. Couple key points to remember is you can't get too aggressive, especially on the rubbing compound, because you'll rub scratches into that epoxy and then you have to start all over and get it out. It's kind of a pain. And number 2, so I went through 2 stages, the white and the black. There's a third stage, blue, and I didn't go there at this time. The next key thing is remember that when you're rubbing that polish into the epoxy, you're also rubbing it into the wood. So you'd want to make sure you have finish, and I had finish obviously on it from before, even though it had dried up a little bit. You're going to rub that compound into the wood. So make sure that you get that compound, that rubbing compound, polishing compound out of the wood, and I used denatured alcohol to do that. If not, then it may not get the results you want when you get to the next step, which is rejuvenating the wood. So the first one was rejuvenating the epoxy. The second one was rejuvenating the wood, and I like to use the Bumblechutes products, and I didn't think that it was necessary to put in their mineral oil project or their all-in-one product. So what I did was I just went straight to the Beenooba Hardwax. I rubbed it all in, let it sit for 35-40 minutes, and then I polished it all off. I don't think I showed the polishing part in the video, but that's the process. Rub it all in, let it sit, soak up, and then polish it off. All in all, I like the results, and I hope this was helpful to some of you who might wonder how you can rejuvenate your epoxy projects in the future. Just go back. If you originally used polish, repolish. If you didn't, then there's no reason to do that. Also, I hope you're getting a chance to get out in the field and have some fun with your projects. And like always, you know, your support means the world to being able to keep this channel going. So if you can give me a like, a comment, a share, and more importantly, subscribe to this channel if you want future insights on how I do some of my epoxy and other projects that I do. Take care.